Rain had been falling for 3 hours when Lina realized that the alpha she loved had never loved her at all. She stood outside the great doors of the Black Moon estate, soaked from head to toe, one hand pressed against her stomach. Inside those walls was everything she had once dreamed of. A home, a family, a future with the woman she had secretly loved for almost 2 years. But tonight, those dreams were dying. The doors opened. Lina looked up. Aria stood there, the alpha of the Black Moon pack. 28 years old, powerful, feared, and beautiful enough to make an entire room fall silent. Her dark hair was wet from the rain outside. Her black eyes were cold. Lina had seen those eyes soften before. Only for her. Or at least, she had believed they did. Aria looked at Lina's trembling hand. Then she looked at her face. "You are pregnant." It was not a question. Lina swallowed. "Yes." For several seconds, neither woman spoke. Then Aria stepped closer. "Who knows?" "No one." "Does your family know?" "No." "Does my family know?" Lina shook her head. Aria's jaw tightened. Good. That one word frightened Lina more than anger would have. She took a small step forward. "Aria, I know this is unexpected, but we can handle it. I do not want anything from you. I only want you to know that I love you." Aria stared at her. Lina's heart was beating so hard that she could barely breathe. "I love you," Lina whispered again. "And this child is yours." Aria looked away. For one brief moment, something appeared in her expression. Fear. Real fear. Then it disappeared. "You need to get rid of it." Lina froze. The rain seemed to become louder. "What?" "You heard me." Lina stared at her as if she were looking at a stranger. "Aria, this is our child." "No." "Our child." I said no. Aria stepped closer. Her voice became quieter. "You cannot have this child." Lina felt something inside her break. "Why?" "Because I am not going to let an Omega destroy my position as Alpha." Lina's eyes filled with tears. "I never asked you to choose between me and your pack. You already did." "I did not." "You became pregnant." Lina covered her stomach protectively. "I thought you loved me." Aria's expression hardened. "I made a mistake." Those 4 words hurt more than anything else. Lina remembered the first time Aria had held her. The first night they had stayed awake talking until sunrise. The promises. The stolen kisses. The secret meetings. Aria telling her that no matter what happened, she would never abandon her. All of it suddenly felt like a lie. Lina's voice trembled. Was any of it real? Aria did not answer. That silence was enough. Lina slowly stepped backward. "Then I will raise the child myself." Aria's eyes narrowed. "You will do no such thing. You cannot stop me. I am the Alpha. And I am the mother." For the first time that night, anger flashed across Aria's face. "You think carrying my pup gives you power over me?" "No." Lina wiped her tears. "It gives me a reason to live." Aria stared at her. Then she turned toward the guards. "Take her to the border." Lina's heart stopped. "You are throwing me out?" "You have until sunrise." Aria walked away. Lina stood in the rain, unable to move. Then she whispered the words she had never imagined she would say. "I hope you regret this." Aria stopped. But she did not turn around. Lina left. She walked through the forest alone, carrying nothing except a small bag and the life growing inside her. She did not know where she would go. She did not know how she would survive. She only knew one thing. Her pup would live. 3 months later, Lina found shelter in a small village beyond the northern mountains. 6 months later, she gave birth to a baby girl. She named her Hope. And for the next 5 years, Lina raised Hope alone. She worked during the day. She cooked at night. She repaired clothes. She gathered herbs. She did everything she could to keep food on the table. Hope grew into a bright little girl with silver eyes and unusual strength. Lina noticed the first strange sign when Hope was 3. The little girl accidentally broke a wooden chair with one hand. When she was 4, she could hear wolves from miles away. And when she turned 5, something even stranger happened. One evening, Hope came running home. "Mama." Lina turned. "What happened?" Hope looked frightened. "There was a woman in the forest." Lina's heart tightened. What woman? Hope looked toward the trees. She had black eyes. Lina went still. Did she speak to you? Hope nodded. She said my name. Lina's blood ran cold. What else did she say? Hope looked at her mother. Then she whispered. She said she has been looking for her daughter for 5 years. Lina dropped the bowl in her hands. It shattered across the floor. Because Lina knew exactly who had black eyes. And she knew exactly who had been searching for 5 years. Aria. The alpha who had told her to get rid of the pup. The alpha who had thrown her away. The alpha who had never once come looking for them. Or so Lina had believed. That night, Lina locked every door and window. She held Hope tightly against her chest. Then someone knocked. Once. Twice. 3 times. Lina stopped breathing. A familiar voice came from outside. Lina. Her knees nearly gave out. It was Aria. But there was something different in her voice. Something Lina had never heard before. Desperation. Please open the door. Lina said nothing. Aria spoke again. I know Hope is inside. Lina pulled her daughter closer. Then Aria whispered the words that changed everything. I did not come to take her. A pause. I came to save her. Lina stared at the door. Because behind that door stood the woman who had destroyed her life. And somewhere beyond the village, something was coming. Something powerful enough to make the most feared alpha in the Northern Territories afraid. Something that knew Hope was alive. And wanted her dead. Lina did not open the door. She stood in the darkness, holding Hope against her chest while Aria waited outside. For 5 years, Lina had imagined this moment. She had imagined Aria coming back. She had imagined herself screaming. She had imagined demanding an apology. She had imagined telling Aria that Hope was hers and that she would never see them again. But now that Aria was actually standing outside, Lina could not find a single word. Hope whispered, Mama, who is she? Lina closed her eyes. Someone from my past. Aria heard her. I deserve that. Lina's eyes opened. Aria continued. But please, Lina. Let me explain. You had 5 years. Silence. You had 5 years to explain. I know. You had 5 years to ask where your daughter was. I know. You had 5 years to come looking for us. I did. Lina froze. What? I came looking for you. Lina's anger returned instantly. Do not lie to me. I am not lying. Then why did you never find us? Aria did not answer. Lina stepped closer to the door. Why? Aria finally spoke. Because someone made sure I could not. Lina's heart skipped. Before she could respond, a loud howl echoed from the forest. Hope buried her face against Lina. Another howl followed. Then another. Lina felt the hairs on her arms rise. Aria's voice became urgent. Open the door now. No. Lina, listen to me. I am listening. There are hunters outside the village. Lina looked toward the window. How many? At least 20. Her blood turned cold. Why? Because they are searching for Hope. Lina looked at her daughter. Hope's silver eyes were wide with fear. Who are they? Aria answered quietly. The Red Fawn Pack. Lina knew the name. Every pack knew it. The Red Fawn were not known for mercy. They had been fighting the Black Moon Pack for generations. But there was one thing Lina did not understand. Why would they want my daughter? Aria hesitated. Then she said, because Hope is not an ordinary Omega. Lina's heart pounded. What does that mean? Open the door. No. Lina, if you do not trust me, fine. But trust what you can see. Look through the window. Lina slowly moved toward the curtain. She lifted it just enough to see the forest. At first, there was nothing. Then she saw them. Figures moving between the trees. 20 people. Maybe more. They wore dark clothing and carried silver weapons. One of them raised his hand. The others stopped. Lina immediately lowered the curtain. How did they find us? Aria answered. They followed Hope's scent. Lina stared at her daughter. That is impossible. Not anymore. What changed? Aria's voice softened. She shifted. Lina felt her stomach drop. Hope was only 5. Most wolves shifted much later. Sometimes not until adulthood. She cannot shift yet. Normally, no. Aria paused. But Hope is not normal. A sudden crash came from outside. Someone had entered the village. Then came shouting, "Search every house." Lina's heart began racing. Hope started crying. Aria spoke quickly. "There is a tunnel beneath your house." Lina stared at the floor. "What?" "It leads to the old river cave." "How do you know?" "Because I built it." Lina almost laughed from disbelief. "You built a tunnel beneath my house?" "No." Aria's voice became quieter. "I built it 5 years ago." Lina understood. "You knew where we were." "I knew where you might be." "That is not the same thing." "No." Aria took a breath. "I never stopped looking." Lina's fingers tightened around Hope. Another crash shook the house. Hope cried louder. Aria whispered, "Please, Lina." Lina looked at the door. Then at her daughter. Then back at the door. She hated Aria. At least, she wanted to. But something in Aria's voice sounded painfully honest. Lina unlocked the door. Aria entered immediately. The woman Lina remembered was gone. This Aria looked exhausted. There were dark circles beneath her eyes. A fresh wound crossed her cheek. Her clothes were torn. Lina stared at her. "You came alone?" Aria nodded. "I left my guards outside the village." "Why?" "Because if the Red Fang discover I am here, they will attack the village." Lina frowned. "You risked that." "For Hope." The answer came instantly. Lina looked away. Aria slowly approached Hope. The little girl hid behind Lina. Aria stopped several feet away. She did not force her closer. Instead, she lowered herself to one knee. "Hello, Hope." Hope peeked around Lina. "Do I know you?" Aria's eyes filled with something Lina could not identify. "No." She swallowed. "But I know you." Hope tilted her head. "How?" Aria smiled sadly. "Because I have been waiting for you since before you were born." Lina felt a painful knot form in her chest. Then Aria reached into her coat. Lina immediately stepped between them. "What are you doing?" Aria slowly pulled out a small silver pendant. It had a black moon carved into it. "This belonged to your mother." Lina stared. Her mother had died when Lina was young. She had never seen that pendant before. Aria held it out. "She gave this to me." Lina's face changed. "My mother knew you?" Aria nodded. "She knew exactly who I was." "Why?" Aria looked toward Hope. Then she said, "Because your mother was the one who asked me to protect you." Lina felt the room spin. "My mother died before I ever met you." "I know." "Then how could she ask you?" Aria's expression became grim. "Because she did not die when you thought she did." Lina stopped breathing. "What are you saying?" Aria looked directly into her eyes. "Your mother is alive." A violent crash came from outside. The front door shook. Someone shouted, "Find the Omega and the pup." Aria stood. Her eyes turned completely black. Her alpha aura filled the room. But before Lina could ask another question, Aria whispered, "And she is the reason the Red Fang want Hope." The door exploded inward. Aria stepped in front of Lina and Hope. And for the first time in 5 years, Lina watched the woman she once loved prepare to fight for them. The door exploded inward. Wood flew across the room. Lina pulled Hope behind her. Aria moved faster. She stepped forward, and the entire house seemed to tremble beneath the pressure of her alpha aura. 3 Red Fang warriors entered. The first one raised a silver blade. "Where's the pup?" Aria's eyes turned black. "You will not touch her." The warrior smiled. "Then we will take you first." He attacked. Aria caught his wrist before the blade could reach her. For 1 second, neither moved. Then Aria twisted. The warrior screamed and dropped the weapon. The other 2 rushed forward. Aria struck one across the chest and sent him crashing into the wall. The third pulled out a silver chain. Lina recognized the weapon immediately. "Aria, move." The chain wrapped around Aria's arm. She gasped. The silver burned through her skin. The warrior smiled. "Even the great black moon alpha bleeds." Aria pulled against the chain. The warrior was stronger than he looked. Then Hope stepped forward. "Mama." Lina grabbed her. "Stay behind me." But Hope was staring at Aria. Her silver eyes suddenly began glowing. The warrior holding the chain froze. "What is that?" Aria looked at Hope. Her expression changed completely. "Hope, close your eyes." Hope did not move. The glow became brighter. The warrior dropped the chain. He stumbled backward. "What is she?" Aria whispered, something they should never have found. The floor beneath Hope cracked. A pulse of energy moved through the room. Every window shattered. The Red Fang warriors fell to their knees. Lina stared at her daughter in horror. "Hope." The glow disappeared. Hope collapsed. Lina caught her. Aria immediately rushed over. "She is unconscious." "Is she alive?" "Yes." Aria placed 2 fingers against Hope's neck. Her face became pale. "Her heart is racing." Lina glared at her. "You said you knew what she was." "I know what she might become." "What does that mean?" Aria looked toward the broken doorway. "We need to leave." Lina refused. "I am not leaving until you tell me the truth." Another howl echoed from the forest. This one was different. It was deeper. Closer. Aria looked toward the trees. "We have less than a minute." Lina picked up Hope. "Then start talking while we run." Aria nodded. They escaped through the tunnel beneath the house. The passage was narrow and dark. Lina carried Hope while Aria led the way. Behind them came the sounds of warriors searching the house. They reached the river cave. Aria pushed aside a hidden stone. Cold night air rushed inside. They emerged beside the river. Lina looked at Aria. "Now tell me." Aria remained silent. "Lina." "No." Aria turned. "You deserve the truth." "Then give it to me." Aria took a breath. "Hope carries an ancient bloodline." Lina frowned. "What bloodline?" "The first wolf." Lina stared at her. "The first wolf is a story." "No." Aria shook her head. "It is history." She looked toward Hope. Long before the packs were divided into alphas and omegas, there was a single bloodline that could command every wolf. Lina listened. The first wolf could control alpha instincts, suppress violent shifts, heal wounds, and even break pack bonds. And Hope has this bloodline? Part of it. Lina looked at Hope. "How?" Aria's eyes lowered. "Because of you." Lina shook her head. "I am an Omega." "Exactly." Aria stepped closer. "You are not an ordinary Omega either." Lina felt cold. "What are you saying?" "Your mother belonged to the last surviving branch of the first wolf bloodline." Lina remembered the pendant. Her mother's strange warnings. The stories she had always thought were myths. Aria continued. "When your mother discovered what she carried, the Red Fang wanted her dead." "Then why is she alive?" "I do not know." Lina stared at Aria. "You said she was alive." "I said she did not die when you thought she did." "That is not an answer." "No." Aria looked away. "Because I do not know where she is now." Lina's anger returned. "You lied to me. I was trying to protect you." "You always say that." Aria flinched. Lina immediately regretted the words. But she continued. 5 years ago, you told me to get rid of my baby." Aria's face became pale. "I remember. You told me she would destroy your position." "I know. You called her a mistake." Aria closed her eyes. "I know. Then why are you here now?" Aria looked at Hope. "Because 5 years ago, I was forced to choose." Lina stared at her. "By whom?" Aria did not answer. "Who forced you?" "My father." Lina went silent. Aria's father had been the previous alpha of Black Moon. He had died 3 years earlier. Lina remembered the rumors. Some said he had died from illness. Others said he had been killed during a border war. Aria whispered, "My father knew about the bloodline." "And he knew about Hope?" "He knew before she was born." Lina's stomach tightened. "How?" Aria looked directly at her. "Because he was the one who ordered me to kill you." Lina stopped walking. The river flowed beside them. For several seconds, she could not breathe. "What?" Aria's voice broke. "When I told you to leave 5 years ago, I was not abandoning you. You were sending me away. I was saving your life. You told me to get rid of our child. I had to make you believe I hated you." Lina stared at her. "Why?" "Because my father had spies watching me." Aria's eyes filled with tears. "If he believed I loved you, he would have killed you." Lina felt tears burning her eyes. "Then why did you never come back?" Aria looked down. "Because I was imprisoned." Lina's anger disappeared for one brief moment. "By your own pack?" Aria nodded. "For 3 years." Lina whispered, and the last two? Aria looked at Hope. I spent them searching. A sound came from behind them. Branches snapping. Aria immediately turned. Something was moving through the forest. Then a figure stepped into the moonlight. Lina froze. The stranger was an older woman. Her silver hair fell over her shoulders. Her eyes were exactly like Lina's. The woman looked at Hope, then at Lina, and whispered, "My little girl." Lina stopped breathing. The woman was crying. Aria lowered her head. She found us. Lina stared at the woman. Mom? The woman nodded. Then her expression changed. Run. Aria turned. What is it? The woman looked toward the forest. They are not hunting Hope anymore. Lina tightened her grip around her daughter. Then what do they want? Her mother looked directly at Aria. They are coming for the Alpha too. And behind them, hundreds of wolves began howling. Hundreds of wolves howled in the darkness. Lina held Hope tightly. Her mother stood across the river, staring into the forest as if she could see something none of them could. Aria stepped forward. Elena, what did you mean? Why are they coming for me? Elena looked at her. Because your father left something behind. Aria's face changed. What? The black crown. Lina frowned. What is the black crown? Elena did not answer immediately. Instead, she looked at Hope. The crown is not gold. It is not jewelry. It is an ancient power passed through the Alpha bloodline. Aria shook her head. My father never told me about it. He did not trust you. Why? Because he knew you would never obey him. A deep growl came from the forest. Elena turned. We have to move. Aria grabbed Lina's arm. This way. Lina pulled away. Do not touch me. Aria stopped. Lina looked at her mother. You have been alive all these years. Why did you let me believe you were dead? Elena's face broke with pain. I did not choose to leave you. Then who did? Elena looked at Aria. Her father. Lina's eyes widened. What did he do? He gave me a choice. What choice? Disappear forever or watch my daughter die. Lina could barely speak. And you chose to disappear. I chose you. Elena stepped closer. I watched you from a distance whenever I could. I saw you grow up. I saw you fall in love. I saw you leave the Black Moon territory. She looked at Hope. And I saw you become a mother. Lina's eyes filled with tears. You could have come to me. I wanted to. Then why did you not? Because your daughter was already being watched. Lina looked down at Hope. The little girl was still unconscious. By your father? No. Elena's expression became darker. By someone much worse. A horn sounded in the distance. Aria immediately looked toward the mountains. They are here. Lina heard movement. Dozens of wolves were approaching. Aria grabbed a small blade from her belt. Elena, take Lina and Hope through the eastern passage. Elena shook her head. No. Aria stared at her. You cannot fight them alone. I am not planning to. Elena reached into her cloak. She pulled out a small black stone. The moment Aria saw it, she stepped backward. Where did you get that? Your father. Aria's face went pale. That is the crown. Elena nodded. It is one piece of it. Lina stared at the stone. What does it do? Elena looked at Hope. It wakes what is sleeping inside the bloodline. Lina felt fear rise in her chest. Do not use it. Elena's eyes softened. I have to. Why? Because Hope is the only person who can survive what is coming. A voice echoed through the forest. Aria. Everyone went silent. A woman stepped between the trees. She wore a dark red cloak. Behind her stood dozens of warriors. Her eyes were bright gold. Aria's expression changed. Celine. Lina recognized the name. Celine was the leader of the Red Fang Pack. A woman feared by almost every territory. Celine smiled. You look tired, Aria. Aria stepped in front of Lina. Stay away from them. Celine laughed. You still protect them. She looked at Lina. Then at Hope. So this is the pup. Lina held Hope closer. Celine's smile disappeared. She has the first wolf blood. Elena moved forward. Do not come any closer. Celine looked at Elena. For the first time, her confidence disappeared. Impossible. Elena smiled sadly. You thought I was dead. Celine took a step backward. You were supposed to be. So was your father. Celine froze. Aria looked between them. What does my father have to do with this? Elena turned toward her. Everything. Before she could continue, Celine raised her hand. The Red Fang warriors attacked. Aria shifted. Her bones cracked. Her body transformed into a massive black wolf. Lina had seen Aria shift before, but never like this. The wolf before her was enormous. Powerful. Terrifying. Aria charged. The forest erupted into chaos. Wolves collided. Claws tore through earth. Howls filled the night. Lina backed away with hope in her arms. Elena grabbed her hand. Come. But Aria. She knows how to fight. She could die. Elena looked at her. You still love her. Lina froze. I hate her. Elena smiled faintly. You can hate someone and still love them. Lina looked toward the battle. Aria was surrounded. 3 Red Fang wolves attacked her at once. She threw one aside. Another bit into her shoulder. Aria roared. Lina took a step forward. Elena stopped her. Do not. She will die. If you go there, they will use you against her. Lina watched helplessly. Then hope moved in her arms. Her eyes opened. They were glowing silver. Mama. Lina looked down. Hope whispered, that woman is lying. Lina froze. Who? Hope pointed toward Celine. She is not here for me. Lina looked at Celine. The Red Fang leader was not watching Hope. She was watching Aria. Hope whispered again. She wants Aria's blood. Lina's heart stopped. Why? Hope looked frightened. Because Aria is the key. Suddenly, Celine screamed. Aria had bitten through the silver chain wrapped around her neck. Celine stumbled backward. Blood covered her hands. She looked at Aria with pure hatred. You do not understand what you are. Aria shifted back into human form. Blood ran down her shoulder. Then tell me. Celine smiled. You are not the heir to the Black Moon. Aria froze. Celine pointed at her. You are the vessel. The entire forest went silent. Lina stared at Aria. Aria looked confused. What vessel? Celine laughed. The vessel chosen to carry the Black Crown. Then she looked at Hope. And the pup is the one who can awaken it. Elena suddenly screamed. Aria, do not listen to her. But it was too late. The black stone in Elena's hand began glowing. Aria's eyes turned completely black. Hope's silver eyes began glowing at the same time. The earth beneath them cracked. And somewhere deep inside the mountain, something ancient opened its eyes. Elena whispered, the crown has awakened. Aria looked at Lina. Fear filled her eyes. Lina, take Hope and run. Lina shook her head. Not this time. Aria stared at her. Lina stepped beside her. I ran once because you told me to. She reached for Aria's hand. I am not running again. And beneath the mountain, a voice whispered their names. The voice beneath the mountain whispered their names again. Lina. Aria. Hope. Then everything went silent. Aria stared at the ground. What was that? Elena looked terrified. The first wolf. Lina tightened her grip on Hope. I thought you said the first wolf was a bloodline. It was. Elena looked toward the mountain. But the bloodline began with something else. Aria stepped closer. What? Elena hesitated. A living wolf. Lina frowned. Living? Not anymore. Elena looked at Hope. The first wolf died thousands of years ago, but its spirit was bound beneath this mountain. Aria's expression hardened. And the Black Crown? Was created to keep it asleep. Celine laughed from across the clearing. Finally, she understands. Aria turned toward her. Why do you want my blood? Celine wiped the blood from her mouth. Because the crown recognizes only the blood of the original Alpha line. Aria shook her head. My father was Alpha. Your father was not your father. Silence. Lina looked at Aria. Aria's face went completely still. What did you say? Celine smiled. You were born to another woman. Aria stepped forward. Who? Celine pointed at Elena. Ask her. Lina turned toward her mother. Mom? Elena closed her eyes. Aria's voice became cold. Tell me. Elena looked at her. I did not want you to find out this way. Tell me. Elena took a slow breath. Your father was not the man who raised you. Aria's hands began trembling. Then who is my father? Elena looked toward the mountain. The last Alpha King. Aria stared at her. There has not been an Alpha King for centuries. That is what everyone believes. Elena stepped closer. Your father was the final heir of the first wolf. Aria could barely breathe. Then why did he hide me? Because he wanted the crown for himself. And you? I was ordered to protect you. Aria looked at Elena. You protected me by letting me believe I was ordinary? I protected you by keeping your blood hidden. Aria laughed bitterly. That worked well. Celine interrupted. Until you met Lina. Aria turned. Celine smiled. That was the mistake. Lina stepped forward. What mistake? Celine pointed at Hope. Your daughter should never have been born. Aria's eyes darkened. Do not speak about her like that. Celine continued. When an alpha of the royal blood bonds with an omega carrying the first wolf blood, their child becomes something neither side can control. Lina looked at Hope. What does that mean? Celine answered, it means Hope can command every wolf alive. Aria stared at her. That is impossible. Is it? Celine nodded toward the wolves surrounding them. Every wolf had lowered its head. They were not looking at Celine. They were looking at Hope. Lina slowly realized what was happening. Why are they bowing? Celine's smile faded. Because she is already awakening. Hope suddenly opened her eyes. Her silver gaze moved across the clearing. Every wolf became completely still. Then Hope spoke. Go. One word. Every red fawn wolf turned and ran. Celine stared in disbelief. No. Hope looked at her. Celine fell to her knees. Lina pulled Hope closer. What did you do? Hope looked confused. I told them to leave. Aria stared at the child. Then she looked at Elena. She is already controlling them. Elena nodded. That is why they are afraid. A deep crack echoed from the mountain. Stone began falling. Elena looked up. We have to go. But Aria did not move. What happens if the first wolf wakes? Elena's face became pale. It will take control of Hope. Lina's heart stopped. No. The spirit needs a living vessel. Aria looked at Hope. And you think it will choose her? It already has. The mountain shook violently. A massive crack appeared across its side. Dark mist poured from the opening. Lina stepped backward. Hope suddenly screamed. Mama. Her eyes became completely silver. Aria rushed toward her. Hope pushed her away without touching her. Aria flew backward and crashed against a tree. Aria. Lina ran toward her. Aria struggled to stand. I am fine. Hope began crying. I cannot stop it. Lina rushed to her daughter. Stop what? Hope looked at her mother. Something is inside me. Lina froze. Elena whispered, the first wolf. Aria looked toward the mountain. Then we go inside. Lina stared at her. What? If the spirit is waking beneath the mountain, we need to find its source. Elena shook her head. No. Aria looked at her. Why? Because the mountain is where your father died. Aria stopped. What? Elena's voice trembled. Your father was not killed by the red fawn. She looked at the dark entrance. He was sacrificed. Lina felt cold. By whom? Elena looked at Aria. By the Black Moon Elders. Aria's face hardened. Why? Because they needed to awaken the crown. Aria whispered, and they used my father. Elena nodded. But something went wrong. What? The crown did not choose him. Aria looked at Hope. It chose me. No. Elena shook her head. It chose your blood. Aria looked confused. Then why me? Elena looked at Lina. Because you were never meant to carry it alone. Lina stared at her. What does that mean? Elena's eyes filled with tears. It means the crown needs 2 bloodlines. She looked at Aria. The Alpha King. Then she looked at Lina. The first Omega. Lina's heart pounded. You're saying I carry the other half? Yes. Aria slowly walked toward Lina. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Aria whispered, that is why I was drawn to you. Lina's eyes filled with tears. Was it only the blood? Aria shook her head. No. She reached for Lina's hand. I loved you before I knew what you were. Lina looked into her eyes. And when you told me to get rid of hope? Aria's voice broke. I was terrified. She lowered her head. I thought if I pushed you away, I could keep you alive. Lina squeezed her hand. I hated you for 5 years. I know. I still do. I know. But I never stopped loving you. Aria looked up. Before either woman could say anything else, Hope screamed. The ground beneath her feet opened. A black mist wrapped around her body. Lina grabbed her daughter. Aria grabbed Lina. Together they pulled Hope free. Then the mountain erupted. A giant shadow appeared above the trees. 2 ancient silver eyes opened within it. A voice shook the entire valley. The Alpha has returned. Aria froze. The voice continued. And the Omega has awakened. Lina looked at Aria. Then the shadow spoke the final words. Bring me the child. Hope disappeared from Lina's arms. Lina screamed. And when she looked up, Hope was standing at the entrance of the mountain. Her eyes were no longer silver. They were black. Hope. Lina screamed her daughter's name. Hope stood at the entrance of the mountain. Her small body was completely still. Her eyes were black. Not dark silver. Not gray. Black. Aria grabbed Lina before she could run forward. Wait. That is my daughter. I know. Let me go. Lina, look at her. Hope slowly turned. Her expression was calm. Too calm. The little girl who had cried when Lina left the room was gone. Something ancient was looking through her eyes. Lina's voice trembled. Hope, come back to Mama. Hope tilted her head. Then she smiled. Why? Lina froze. Hope had never spoken like that. Aria stepped forward. Hope, listen to me. The child's eyes moved toward Aria. You. Aria stopped. Hope looked at her for several seconds. Then she whispered, You are the one who abandoned us. Aria lowered her head. Yes. You told Mama to get rid of me. Yes. You made her cry. Aria's eyes filled with tears. Yes. Hope's expression changed. For one brief moment, Lina saw her daughter again. Then the darkness returned. Why should I forgive you? Aria swallowed. You should not. Lina looked at her. Aria continued. I do not deserve your forgiveness. Hope stared at her. But I love your mother. The darkness around Hope trembled. Aria stepped closer. And I love you. Hope's face remained expressionless. Then prove it. Aria stopped. How? Give me your life. Lina gasped. No. Hope raised one hand. The air shook. Aria immediately dropped to her knees. Take it. Lina stared at her. Aria, do not. Aria looked back. If giving my life brings Hope back, I will do it. Lina shook her head. You cannot leave me again. Aria's expression softened. I already lost 5 years. She looked at Lina. I will not waste another second. Hope's eyes flickered. The darkness surrounding her began to crack. Then a voice came from inside the mountain. She is lying. Aria looked toward the entrance. The ancient voice continued. The Alpha does not love the Omega. Lina felt something cold move through her chest. The voice whispered, the Alpha fears her. Aria stood. Yes. The mountain went silent. Aria looked directly at Lina. I am afraid. Lina stared at her. Of what? Of losing you. Aria took a breath. Of losing hope. Then why did you push us away? Because I thought fear was stronger than love. Her voice broke. I was wrong. Lina stepped toward her. For the first time, she believed her. But before she could speak, Elena shouted, Do not trust the voice. Everyone turned. Elena was holding the black stone. The first wolf cannot create fear. The voice beneath the mountain rumbled. Silence. Elena raised the stone. You are not the first wolf. The darkness around Hope suddenly stopped. Lina stared at her mother. What did you say? Elena looked toward the mountain. I finally understand. She turned to Aria. The first wolf died thousands of years ago. Then what is this? A parasite. The mountain shook. The voice roared. Liar. Elena smiled. It has been pretending to be the first wolf. Lina felt confused. What is it? Elena looked at Hope. The hollow. Aria frowned. What is the hollow? A creature that feeds on bloodlines. Elena pointed toward the mountain. It has been trapped here for centuries. It learned how to imitate the first wolf's voice. It convinced generations of alphas that it was their ancestor. Aria stared at Hope. And now it wants her. Yes. Why? Because Hope is strong enough to free it. Lina's blood ran cold. Then we have to get her out. Elena nodded. But there is a problem. What? The Hollow has already bonded with her. Lina stepped forward. Then break the bond. Elena shook her head. Only one person can do that. Lina looked at Aria. Aria looked at Elena. Me? No. Elena looked at Lina. You. Lina froze. Me? You carry the first Omega blood. Lina looked at Hope. What do I have to do? Elena's voice became quiet. You have to enter the mountain. Aria immediately stepped forward. I am coming. Elena shook her head. You cannot. Why? Because the Hollow will use your alpha blood against you. Aria's jaw tightened. I do not care. You should. Elena looked at Lina. If Aria enters, the Hollow will take control of her. Lina looked at Aria. I cannot do this without you. Aria reached for her hand. You can. No. You raised Hope alone. Because you left. I know. Aria squeezed her hand. But you were never weak. Lina's eyes filled with tears. You always believed that? I always knew it. Hope suddenly screamed. The darkness around her became violent. The Hollow's voice thundered. Enough. The mountain opened wider. A path appeared inside. At the end of it stood a massive stone throne. And sitting upon it was a skeleton wearing a broken black crown. Aria stared. My father. Elena nodded. He was sacrificed here. The skeleton suddenly moved. Its head turned toward Aria. Then its empty eyes began glowing. Aria stepped backward. Her father's voice came from the darkness. Aria. She froze. Lina grabbed her hand. The voice spoke again. Come home, daughter. Aria began trembling. No. The skeleton stood. Your mother lied to you. Elena shouted, do not listen. The skeleton pointed toward Lina. She stole you from me. Aria's eyes became black. Lina felt her hand go cold. Aria? Aria looked at Lina. For one terrifying second, Lina could not recognize her. Then Aria whispered, run. Lina refused. Aria. Run. Her alpha aura exploded. Lina stumbled backward. Aria's eyes were completely black. The Hollow had found a way into her. Hope watched silently. Then the child smiled. Because now the Hollow had both halves of the bloodline. The Omega child. And the Alpha. Lina stood alone between them. Her daughter was possessed. Her mate was being controlled. And her mother was holding the only weapon capable of stopping the creature. But Elena suddenly dropped the black stone. Her face went pale. Lina. What? Elena looked toward the mountain entrance. There is something I forgot to tell you. Lina stared at her. What? Elena whispered, the Hollow cannot be killed. A pause. It can only be transferred. Lina looked at Hope. Then at Aria. Then back at her mother. Transferred to whom? Elena's eyes filled with tears. You. You. The word echoed through the mountain. Lina stared at her mother. Then she looked at Aria. The woman she loved stood several steps away, her eyes completely black. Hope stood beside her. Both were trapped inside the Hollow's control. Lina shook her head. No. Elena's voice trembled. There is no other way. There has to be. There isn't. You said the creature can only be transferred. Yes. Then transfer it into me. Elena nodded. And then. Elena looked away. Lina understood. What happens to me? You die. Silence. Lina looked at Hope. Her daughter was watching her. For a moment, Hope's expression changed. Mama. Lina's heart broke. She rushed forward. But Aria stepped between them. Her voice was no longer completely her own. Do not come closer. Lina stopped. Aria. Run. The Hollow spoke through her. She cannot save you. Lina stared into Aria's black eyes. I know you are still in there. Aria's face twitched. The Hollow growled. She is mine. Lina stepped forward. No. Aria's hand began trembling. The hollow fought against her. She belongs to the mountain. Lina shook her head. She belongs to herself. Aria's fingers slowly curled into a fist. Lina. Her real voice. Weak. Barely audible. Lina's eyes filled with tears. I knew you were still there. Aria looked at her. Get hope out. I will not leave you. You have to. No. Aria suddenly screamed. The hollow took control again. She attacked. Lina barely escaped the strike. The stone wall behind her shattered. Aria. Aria charged again. Lina refused to fight back. She kept moving, blocking, dodging, trying to reach the woman trapped inside. Remember the river? Lina cried. Aria froze for half a second. The river. The night you told me you hated storms. Aria's expression changed. You laughed when I fell into the water. Another memory. The little cabin. Aria's hand lowered. You said you wanted to stay there forever. The hollow roared. Aria grabbed her head. Stop. Lina continued. You promised me a home. Aria screamed. The blackness around her flickered. Hope looked at them. Mama. Lina turned. Hope was crying. The bad voice is hurting me. Lina's heart shattered. I am coming. The hollow reacted instantly. The mountain shook. Dark energy filled the chamber. Elena shouted, Lina, now. Lina ran toward Hope. She grabbed her daughter. The darkness entered Lina's body. She screamed. Cold rushed through her veins. She fell to her knees. For several seconds, she could not breathe. Then everything stopped. The hollow disappeared from Aria. Her eyes returned to normal. She collapsed. Hope collapsed too. Lina remained on her knees. Elena stared at her. Lina. Lina slowly looked up. Her eyes were black. Elena's face turned white. No. Lina smiled weakly. It worked. Aria opened her eyes. Lina. Lina looked at her. I am fine. Aria crawled toward her. Your eyes. Lina touched her face. What is wrong? Elena stepped backward. The hollow is inside her. Aria stared at Lina. Lina shook her head. No. Elena whispered yes. Lina looked at Hope. Her daughter was breathing normally. The danger was gone. At least for now. Aria reached for Lina. Lina pulled away. Do not. Why? I do not know what it will do. Aria shook her head. I do not care. You should. Aria grabbed her hand. I already spent 5 years without you. She squeezed tighter. I will not spend another 5 minutes. Lina looked at her. Then she smiled through her tears. You always say things too late. Aria laughed weakly. Probably. For a moment, everything was peaceful. Then Lina heard a whisper. Not from the mountain. From inside her own head. Hello, Lina. Her smile disappeared. The hollow was awake. She closed her eyes. Leave me alone. Aria looked concerned. What? Nothing. The voice whispered again. You think you defeated me. Lina stood. Who are you? The hollow laughed. You know who I am. Lina looked at Elena. Her mother was staring at her with terror. Tell me the truth. Elena hesitated. The hollow is not a creature. What? It is a memory. Lina frowned. A memory? An ancient consciousness. Elena stepped closer. It belonged to the first Alpha King. Aria stared. My ancestor? Elena nodded. When he died, his consciousness survived through the crown. Lina felt sick. So the voice is him. Aria looked at Lina. Then why does it want hope? Elena answered, because the crown cannot survive without a living host. Lina's eyes widened. And I am the host. Yes. Then why did it want hope? Elena looked at the child. Because hope is the next host. Lina froze. Aria whispered, then it was never trying to kill her. No. Elena shook her head. It was preparing her. For what? Elena's face became grim. To become the next Alpha King. Aria stared at Hope. But Hope is a girl. Elena nodded. The crown does not care. The mountain began shaking again. Lina heard the voice inside her mind. Your daughter will rule every pack. Lina whispered no. She will command every alpha. No. She will never be abandoned again. Lina froze. The voice became softer. Because I will make certain everyone fears losing her. Lina's heart began pounding. She understood. The hollow was not tempting hope with power. It was tempting Lina. Power to protect her daughter. Power to make sure no one could ever hurt her again. Lina looked at Aria. I can hear it. Aria stepped closer. What is it saying? That I can make hope safe. Aria shook her head. It is lying. How do you know? Because power never makes people safe. Lina looked at her. Aria held her gaze. I know. The mountains suddenly went silent. Then a new voice came from behind them. She is right. Everyone turned. Celine stood at the entrance. Blood covered her face. But she was smiling. Aria stepped in front of Lina. Celine. Celine raised her hands. I am not here to fight. Then why are you here? Celine looked directly at Lina. Because I know how to destroy the hollow. Lina stared at her. How? Celine smiled. By killing the person it loves most. Aria's expression changed. Celine pointed at Hope. The hollow is bound to the child. Lina's blood ran cold. That means. Celine nodded. If Hope dies, the hollow dies too. Lina immediately pulled Hope into her arms. No. Celine looked at Aria. But there is another option. Aria stepped forward. What? Celine smiled. Give the hollow what it truly wants. Aria frowned. What? Celine's eyes moved to Lina. The Alpha and the Omega. A pause. Together. The Alpha and the Omega. Celine's words echoed through the mountain. Lina held Hope tighter. Aria stared at Celine. What does that mean? Celine walked slowly into the chamber. The hollow was never interested in power alone. Aria narrowed her eyes. Then what does it want? Balance. Lina frowned. That makes no sense. Celine looked at her. The first wolf was created from two forces. She pointed at Aria. Alpha. Then she pointed at Lina. Omega. The crown was designed to unite them. Aria shook her head. My father spent his life trying to control the crown. Because he misunderstood it. Celine looked toward the broken throne. The crown does not obey one person. It obeys a bond. Lina felt a chill. What bond? Celine looked directly at her. Love. Silence filled the chamber. Aria laughed bitterly. You expect us to believe that? I do not care what you believe. Celine pointed toward Lina's eyes. The hollow entered her because she loves hope more than she fears death. Then she pointed at Aria. It entered you because you would die for them. Aria's expression changed. Celine continued. And it failed to control either of you completely because neither of you has stopped choosing the other. Lina looked at Aria. For 5 years, she had tried to forget her. She had tried to hate her. But deep inside, the bond had never disappeared. Celine spoke again. The hollow feeds on fear. Lina frowned. Then why does it want love? Because love creates the strongest fear. Lina understood. The fear of losing someone. The fear of failing them. The fear of watching them die. The hollow had used that fear against her. Aria stepped closer. So how do we destroy it? Celine's expression became serious. You do not destroy it. Lina sighed. Then what? You replace it. Aria frowned. With what? The original bond. Lina looked at Aria. What bond? Celine answered, the bond your bloodlines were created to protect. Aria shook her head. We are not bonded. Celine smiled. Are you sure? Lina's heart skipped. Celine looked at her. When you first met Aria, did your wolf recognize her? Lina remembered. The first time Aria had entered the room, Lina had felt something inside her awaken. A strange warmth. A sense of belonging. She had thought it was attraction. Maybe it had been something deeper. Celine looked at Aria. And you? Aria was silent. Lina looked at her. Did you recognize me? Aria nodded. Immediately. Lina's eyes filled with tears. Why did you never tell me? Because my father told me the feeling was dangerous. Celine laughed. He was afraid. Aria looked at her. Of what? Of a bond he could never control. The chamber shook. The hollow's voice returned. Enough. Lina's eyes turned black again. She fell to her knees. Aria rushed toward her. Lina. Lina grabbed her head. Get away. No. Aria, please. The hollows spoke through Lina. You cannot save her. Aria knelt beside her. Then I will stay. She will hurt you. I know. She will kill you. I know. She will destroy everything you love. Aria touched Lina's face. Then I will love her anyway. The blackness around Lina began trembling. The hollow screamed. Stop. Aria looked directly into Lina's eyes. I am here. Lina's breathing became slower. Aria continued. I am not leaving. The darkness weakened. Lina whispered, Aria. I am here. I am scared. I know. I do not want to lose you again. You will not. The hollows screamed louder. Lina grabbed Aria's hand. Their fingers locked. A burst of light exploded through the chamber. The black stone on the floor shattered. The crown above the throne cracked. The hollow screamed. No. Lina and Aria were surrounded by a pale silver light. Hope stood between them. Her eyes were glowing. She reached for both their hands. Mama. Lina looked at her. I am here. Aria. Aria took her other hand. I am here. Hope smiled. The three stood together. The light grew stronger. Then the voice disappeared. Silence. The mountains stopped shaking. Lina collapsed. Aria caught her. Lina. Lina opened her eyes. They were normal. Aria laughed through tears. You're back. Lina smiled. So are you. Hope ran into both their arms. For the first time, they held each other as a family. But the victory lasted only a few seconds. A loud crack came from the throne. The black crown split apart. Something fell from inside it. A small golden pendant. Elena stepped forward. She stared at it. No. Aria looked at her. What? Elena picked up the pendant. Her hands were shaking. This belonged to your father. Aria frowned. He wore a black crown. Yes. Then why is this gold? Elena turned it over. There was a symbol carved into the back. A wolf. And beneath it, a name. Aria. Aria stared. That is my name. Elena nodded. It was made for you. Lina frowned. But your father wanted the crown. He did. Then why make something for Aria? Elena looked at the pendant. Because he knew he was going to die. Aria's face became pale. What did he know? Elena hesitated. Then she handed the pendant to Aria. Read the back. Aria turned it over. A hidden message appeared beneath the wolf. She read it aloud. When the crown breaks, the truth will return. Aria looked at Elena. What truth? Elena's face filled with fear. The truth about your birth. Aria stared. You already told me who my father was. I told you who I believed your father was. Lina stepped closer. What do you mean? Elena looked toward Hope. Your daughter did not inherit the first wolf blood from Lina alone. Aria went still. Then from whom? Elena looked at her. From you. Aria shook her head. That is impossible. Elena whispered, your mother was the last first Omega. Aria stared. Then who is my father? Elena's eyes filled with tears. The first wolf. Lina's heart stopped. Aria dropped the pendant. What? Elena whispered, you are not his descendant. You are his daughter. The mountain became completely silent. Then Hope looked toward the darkness. Someone was standing there. A woman. A woman with Aria's eyes. And she whispered, hello, Aria. Hello, Aria. The woman stepped out of the darkness. Aria could not move. Lina stood beside her, holding Hope's hand. Elena looked at the stranger with tears in her eyes. You came. The woman smiled. I was waiting. Aria stared at her. Who are you? The woman slowly lowered her hood. She had long silver hair, pale skin, and the same black eyes as Aria. Aria whispered, Mother. The woman nodded. Aria took a step backward. No. Her mother had died when she was a child. At least, that was what she had been told. Elena had said nothing. Aria looked at her. You knew. Elena lowered her head. You knew she was alive. Yes. For how long? Since before you were born. Aria's expression hardened. Everyone has been lying to me. Her mother stepped closer. I was trying to protect you. Aria laughed bitterly. That is what everyone says. Lina reached for her hand. Aria did not pull away. The woman looked at Lina. So this is the Omega. Lina stepped forward. Who are you? My name is Mira. She looked at Hope. And that is your daughter. Lina's protective instincts immediately rose. Do not come closer. Mira stopped. I will not hurt her. How do I know? You do not. Mira looked at Aria. But you should know something. Aria stared at her. What? The Hollow was never your enemy. Lina's eyes narrowed. Then what was it? Mira looked toward the broken crown. A prison. Silence. Aria frowned. A prison for what? Mira pointed toward the mountain. For the first wolf. Lina remembered the voice. The ancient eyes. The crown. So the creature was real? Yes. Then why did it attack us? Because it was dying. Aria looked confused. Dying? Mira nodded. The first wolf had been trapped for centuries. Its power was fading. It needed a new host. Hope. Yes. Lina tightened her grip on Hope. Mira continued. But the first wolf did not want to possess Hope. Aria frowned. Then what did it want? It wanted to be reborn. Lina's blood ran cold. Through Hope. Yes. Aria stepped forward. And you? Mira smiled sadly. I was the first person who tried to stop it. What happened? I failed. Mira looked at Elena. Your mother helped me hide you. Aria stared at Elena. From my father? From everyone. Mira nodded. Your father wanted to use you as the next vessel. Aria's face went pale. He knew. He knew everything. And he still raised me? He needed your blood to awaken the crown. Aria's hands began trembling. Then why did he send me away from the mountain? Because the crown rejected him. Mira looked at Lina. And because it recognized you. Lina frowned. Me? Mira nodded. The moment Aria met you, the crown sensed both halves of its bloodline. Aria looked at Lina. So our bond was never an accident. No. Myra's expression softened. But your love was. Lina frowned. What does that mean? The crown can recognize blood. It cannot create love. Aria looked at Lina. Mira continued. Whatever happened between you two is yours. Lina felt tears gather in her eyes. After everything, that was the one thing she needed to hear. Their love had not been a spell. Not fate. Not some ancient command. It had been real. Aria took Lina's hand. Mira watched them. Then she looked at Hope. There is still one problem. Lina immediately became alert. What? The crown is broken. Yes. The hollow is gone. Yes. But the first wolf is awake. Aria froze. What? Mira looked toward the mountain. The creature you fought was only its shadow. Lina's heart dropped. Then where is the real first wolf? Mira looked at Hope. Inside her. Hope suddenly gasped. Her eyes turned silver. Mama. Lina rushed to her. What happened? Hope looked frightened. I can hear someone. Who? Hope pointed toward her own chest. Me. Lina froze. What? Hope whispered, there is another me inside me. Myra's expression changed. It has begun. Aria looked at her. Can we stop it? Mira nodded. But there is only one way. Lina already knew she would hate the answer. What? The first wolf must be separated from Hope before the next full moon. Aria looked toward the sky. When is that? Myra's eyes filled with fear. Tomorrow night. Lina's heart stopped. That soon. The awakening has accelerated. Aria stepped forward. How do we separate them? Mira looked at Lina. You must enter Hope's mind. Lina stared. And fight it? No. Mira shook her head. You must find the part of Hope that belongs only to herself. Lina looked confused. What does that mean? The first wolf has been feeding Hope memories. What memories? Fear. Mira pointed toward Aria. Abandonment. Then toward Lina. Loneliness. Then toward Hope. And the belief that she was unwanted. Lina's eyes filled with tears. No. Mira nodded. It used your pain to build its identity. Aria looked at Lina. So Hope thinks we abandoned her. Lina hugged her daughter. I never abandoned you. Hope looked up. I know. But the voice made you believe it? Hope nodded. It showed me Mama crying. Lina closed her eyes. It showed me leaving. Aria knelt beside them. I am sorry. Hope looked at her. You really left? Aria nodded. I did. Why? Because I was afraid. Hope was silent. Aria touched her cheek. I thought leaving you would save you. Hope frowned. Did it? Aria shook her head. No. Then why should I trust you? Aria's eyes filled with tears. You should not trust me because I am your alpha. She looked at Lina. You should trust me because I am your mother. Hope stared at her, then slowly reached for Aria's hand. Aria took it. For a moment, everything was peaceful. Then a howl came from the forest. Mira turned toward the entrance. We have company. Lina looked outside. Hundreds of wolves surrounded the mountain. But they were not red fang. They wore black markings. The Black Moon Pack. Aria stepped forward. Why are they here? Mira looked at her. Your father's loyalists. Aria's expression hardened. They should have been scattered years ago. They were. Mira pointed toward the mountain. The crown called them back. Aria's eyes narrowed. Who leads them? Mira did not answer. A figure stepped through the wolves. Lina recognized her immediately. It was the Black Moon Beta, the woman who had once guarded Aria's father's throne. She smiled. Hello, Alpha. Aria's hand tightened. You. The Beta bowed. Your father promised us the crown. Aria shook her head. He is dead. The Beta smiled. Yes. Then she looked at Hope. But his heir is alive. Hope stepped behind Lina. The Beta raised her hand. Every wolf lowered its head. Bring us the child. Aria stepped in front of Lina. No. The Beta smiled. Then we take the Alpha too. She looked at Aria. Your father left one final command. Aria stared. What command? The Beta's smile disappeared. Kill the Omega. Lina froze. Aria's eyes turned black. But this time, it was not the hollow. It was rage. She stepped forward. Nobody touches her. The Beta laughed. You still do not understand. She pointed toward Lina. She is the reason your father lost everything. Then she looked at Hope. And that child is the reason you will lose the rest. The wolves charged. Aria shifted. Lina grabbed Hope. Mira raised her hand. The mountain began glowing. And somewhere inside Hope's mind, the first wolf opened its eyes. It whispered one sentence. Tomorrow I will be born. Tomorrow I will be born. The voice echoed inside Hope's mind. But this time, Hope did not feel afraid. She opened her eyes. She was standing in a strange forest. There were no mountains, no wolves, no house, only endless silver trees beneath a black sky. Hope looked around. Mama? No answer. Aria? Nothing. Then footsteps sounded behind her. Hope turned. A woman stood between the trees. She looked exactly like Hope. Same silver eyes. Same face. But she was older. Much older. Hope stared. Who are you? The woman smiled. I am you. Hope stepped backward. No. Yes. You are the first wolf. The woman nodded. I have waited thousands of years to become you. Hope shook her head. You cannot. Why? Because I am me. The woman laughed softly. You are 5 years old. I am still me. You are afraid. Sometimes. You are angry. Sometimes. You want power. Hope shook her head. No. The woman stepped closer. You want to protect your mother. Hope nodded. And Aria. Another nod. Then let me give you the power. Hope looked at her. What power? The power to make sure nobody ever leaves you again. Hope hesitated. The woman smiled. You could make everyone obey. Hope thought about the red fang, the black moon, everyone who had hurt her mother. Then she remembered Lina crying alone. She remembered Aria standing outside their house. She remembered Aria saying she loved her. Hope shook her head. I do not want everyone to obey me. Then what do you want? Hope answered, I want them to choose me. The woman frowned. You cannot force love. I know. Then you will be hurt. Maybe. Hope smiled. But Mama loves me. The woman stepped closer. And Aria? Hope looked down. She is trying. The woman became angry. She abandoned you. Yes. She made your mother suffer. Yes. She does not deserve forgiveness. Hope was silent. Then she said, maybe not. The woman smiled. But I forgive her anyway. The silver forest shook. The first wolf screamed. You are weak. Hope stood taller. No. You are nothing without me. Hope shook her head. I am Hope. The forest exploded with silver light. Outside the mountain, Lina felt something change. Hope's body stopped glowing. The black moon wolves froze. Aria stood in the middle of the battlefield, surrounded by enemies. The beta approached. Where is the child? Aria growled. Safe. The beta raised her blade. Then die with the Omega. She attacked. Aria blocked the strike. Lina moved toward Hope. Mira stopped her. Wait. What? Something is happening. Hope opened her eyes. They were silver. Pure silver. She looked at Lina. Mama. Lina ran to her. Hope hugged her. I am back. Lina cried. I knew you would come back. Hope looked at Aria. Aria was still fighting. She is losing. Lina turned. Aria had fallen to one knee. The beta raised her weapon. Lina ran. Aria. The blade came down. Lina stepped between them. The silver blade stopped inches from her chest. The beta stared. Move. No. You will die. Lina looked directly at her. I spent 5 years running. She looked at Aria. I am done. The beta attacked again. But the weapon shattered. Everyone froze. Hope stood behind Lina. Her silver eyes were glowing. She raised one hand. Every wolf in the forest lowered its head. The beta fell to her knees. No. Hope looked at her. Leave. The beta tried to resist. Hope's voice became stronger. Leave my family alone. The wolves turned. One by one, the Black Moon warriors walked away. The beta stared at Hope. What are you? Hope smiled. Hope. Then the mountain became silent. The crown, still broken upon the throne, began turning to dust. Mira looked at it. The first wolf is gone. Aria stood slowly. Forever? Mira nodded. Hope chose her own identity. Lina hugged Hope. Aria walked toward them. She stopped a few feet away. Can I? Hope looked at Lina. Then at Aria. She opened her arms. Aria's face broke. She stepped forward and hugged Hope. Lina joined them. For the first time, there were no secrets between them. No ancient bloodline. No crown. No pack politics. Only 3 people holding each other. Later that morning, they returned to the village. The Black Moon Pack had lost its leaders. The Red Fang had scattered. And the ancient crown was gone. But one question remained. What would happen to the packs now? Mira gathered the surviving alphas and omegas. She told them the truth. The crown had never been meant to rule them. The first wolf had never been meant to control them. For generations, the packs had allowed fear to decide who deserved power. Now they had a choice. Aria gave up the Black Moon throne. Lina expected the pack to reject her. Instead, the elders asked Aria to stay. Not as their ruler. As their protector. Aria accepted. But she made one condition. No more forced bonds. The elders agreed. No more buying omegas. They agreed. No more treating pups as political weapons. They agreed again. Lina watched from the crowd. Hope stood beside her. Months passed. The village became their home. Aria learned how to be a mother. Not a perfect one. Sometimes she made mistakes. Sometimes Hope became angry. Sometimes Lina still remembered the night Aria told her to leave. Those wounds did not disappear overnight. But they healed. Slowly. Honestly. One evening, Lina stood beside the river. Aria approached. Can I ask you something? Lina smiled. What? Do you still hate me? Lina looked at the water. Sometimes. Aria nodded. I deserve that. Lina turned toward her. But I love you more. Aria smiled. I will take that. They stood together in silence. Then Hope came running. Mama. Lina turned. What happened? Hope grinned. I found something. She held out a small silver stone. Lina froze. Aria's smile disappeared. The stone had the same symbol that once appeared on the crown. The wolf. But there was something different. A second symbol was carved beneath it. A star. Mira came running from the village. She saw the stone. Her face went pale. What is it? Hope looked at her. I do not know. Mira took the stone. Then she whispered, the crown is gone. Aria frowned. Then why is this here? Mira looked toward the distant mountains. Because the crown was never the only ancient power. Lina looked at Hope. Hope smiled innocently. What does that mean? Mira stared at the child. It means the first wolf was only the beginning. Lina sighed. Of course it was. Aria laughed. Hope laughed too. And for the first time, Lina realized something. Their story had never been about an alpha and an omega. It had never been about bloodlines, crowns, or ancient wolves. It had been about a mother who refused to abandon her child. An alpha who finally learned that love was not weakness. And a little girl named Hope who proved that no prophecy could decide who she would become. Lina looked at Aria. Aria looked at Hope. And together, they walked home. Not because fate told them to. Not because a crown demanded it. But because they chose each other. Every single day. The end.